Oh, let's see here.
First thing, I got something to say. You love this one. George Clooney can go jump off a bridge, man. George Clooney. And here's why I'm going to say this. So if anybody read, I don't know, is listed the George Clooney did op-ed in the New York Times yesterday.
Yeah, I got it up here.
Asking Joe Biden to drop out. And in it, he says, at that fundraiser they had in Hollywood several weeks ago, he's like, I noticed that, the president was not the same as he was in 2010 or 2020. He was not, he was incapacitated. And I was thinking this, like, everybody's like, oh, George is so great for standing up. It's admirable. I'm like, no, he's not. If he knew it then, why didn't he say something? Like, hey, this is a problem. The president of the United States cannot function. But now he's a hero he's like, after there's a debacle, and now he's like, oh, yeah, he needs to get out. Like, man, no, come on. Like, so I'm not praising George Clooney right now. Like, I just think that's BS.
It is. Because he has the media to hide behind.
Yeah.
And whoever, he has the big donors, himself included, to hide behind. But nobody can come out and be the first to say it. That's why I want to know who hit the button, who sent the text or whatever.
Order 66.
Order 66 after the debate.
Yeah.
Because it was 100% in unison, same talking points, just like them. It reminded me of the that viral clip of the hundreds of different news stations talking about the COVID vax being safe and effective, and it's the same little one paragraph script, and they were all on it.
They're all jumping on. No, I mean it was definitely from the moment the debate hit, all this hit, and then this is another thing that was really funny to me. So Monday, you and I have been talking about this. I know I haven't been on air, but the Biden is defiant, like he does the Winston Churchill "we will never surrender" kind of speech, right? And he gets on Morning Joe and threatens the Democrats to take him down to the convention if they want to, and all this crazy stuff. And then you know what they did? They doubled down. Yeah, they've doubled down this week. They're like, all right, Joe. Now, of course, there's been some. I guess spineless, where most of them are spineless right now because they're all thinking it and they all want him gone, but they're not saying it publicly. So what they do instead is said, let's go to our buddies in Hollywood and get them to do it, because if they do it, then they're not politically liable, right? Uh-huh. So that's kind of, to me, what's going on right now. You're seeing a lot of deflecting to Hollywood and the donors class, because you got the lady from Disney saying, I'm not going to give him any money. You got all these people talking about this. So the politicians don't, because they have no spine and they can't, they're worried about retribution from the president, and they don't want to say it. But they're all privately saying, heck, if you read Clooney's op-ed, he says that they've told him, all of them, all the House Democrats and the senators have said, the ones that he talks to, which is probably most of them, because I'm sure he raises money for a lot of them, is that Joe needs to go. Well, if all of you think that, right, in the entire country, today a poll was released in ABC, 2 out of every 3 Americans think that Joe Biden should not run again for president. So if 2 out of 3 Americans think that, and everybody in the House thinks that, everybody in the Senate thinks that, okay, everybody needs to get out and say it. We can't just sit there. This is not a dictatorship. It's just not. And that's what you're allowing Joe Biden to act like at this point. And that's why I've been so angry all week, because he's acting like this is a banana republic right now. He's going out there and saying, I won't leave. His only advisors are like his family and his friends, those close whatever people. And he's refusing to do what is clearly that we all see. And that's just a massive problem to me.
Let me ask you a question. Jerry texted in, but Jerry asked this, but I'm going to massage it and ask it more respectfully. At what point did you know? I mean, you're a kind of a blue no matter who kind of guy, to an extent.
Well, I don't know. You and I have been talking for a long time. I've said that I was going to vote for Kennedy for a year now. Yeah, I think I started saying that.
Where were you with on the Biden stuff, like with the dementia, whatever, his mental incapacities? We'll just say whatever it is, Parkinson's, dementia, both.
I'd say probably the early part of this year.
The debate wasn't the seal
no.
The deal
but you and I talk like every day.
Yeah,
we've been discussing
this is for public.
Yeah, public. So probably early part of this year I started really noticing it that it was a decline, and that's when I was telling you I can't responsibly vote for Joe Biden at this point.
Yeah, behind the scenes, Shaun has been, you know, and frankly, in front of, we just haven't brought this up publicly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Shaun's been on this. He sees all the clips. He understands the difference when something's not a cheap fake or a deep fake and all that.
Yeah, I mean it's just been obvious, and I was hoping that the party would do something before this. Yeah, that this was an issue. I was talking to my friend Will that you've met many times before about this, because I was hoping they would do it last year, and that there would be an actual primary. Of course, they didn't do that, and this has kind of been my prediction. I didn't know it was going to happen to this scale,
Yeah.
to the scale that we're looking at now. But I thought it was inevitable, So,
Let me put you on the spot.
yeah.
If Joe Biden is on the ballot, the election's going to be November 5th. As of right now, if Joe Biden's on the ballot and Kennedy gets on the ballot in Mississippi, which he wasn't last time I heard, but I surely they'll get that worked out. Who is Shaun Yurtkuran voting for if nothing changes?
I'm voting, actually, I was going to vote for Kennedy. I'm voting for Donald Trump right now.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. I've thought about that a lot this week. This has pissed me off to a point of just insanity.
Yeah.
Like, this is, you are selling to me that I am, I'm country first, right? Or I'm, there's existential threats.
We're talking about the Democrats.
The
Democrats. Period.
Well, I mean, partially the Democrats too, because if they had any spine, they'd do something right now.
Yeah.
And that's my problem. Like, they're falling in line.
I'm going to say this real quick. One thing we're seeing through this is how much power the president has.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, healthy for the country too, in another situation, because it is really hard to remove a voted-in president if they don't want to go.
Yeah, no, it's almost impossible. I mean, they really can't do anything right now.
Yeah.
They're going to go to the convention, and what are they going to do? Now you got the pledged delegates and the super delegates.
Yeah.
They're stuck with him, and so he's just going to pull this train down with him because he wants to be president still, even when he's obviously incapable of doing that. The next point that I make, and I've told you this privately, and I finally saw some House subpoenas yesterday regarding his aides to who's covered this up. This is like a scene out of my favorite show, The West Wing, when the president has multiple sclerosis and some of his administration had hid it from the public, and then they start having congressional hearings about it. And I know it's funny to relate this to a TV show, but if anybody wants to watch it, it's a great show. But that's kind of what's going on here. Now you have a group of aides that has obviously covered up the condition of the president of the United States and hid it from the public, and we don't know who's running the government at this point. And I feel like there's a crime in there somewhere that needs to be uncovered. Then I don't know who's responsible, what aides, which aides are making the decisions, because we don't know that. I mean, at the very least, what should have happened, in my mind, if he was incapacitated, is someone should have alerted the vice president and explained that to her. Now, I don't know what she seems like she's out of the loop, though, on it with his close people. That's the way it appears to me.
That's the way it appears publicly.
Yeah.
Like, she's not in that inner circle. Let's take a call. Remind me to ask you don't tell me the answer right now. I want to, if Kamala is the candidate, we welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. We're live here on WYAB. Hey, guys, I'm going to save that. We got a new partner I'm so excited to tell you all about, but we're going to wait on that. One I can spit out a little quicker here is telling you real quick about our great friends over at Lakeland Glass and Tint, located right there at the OG location for all your windshield repair and replacement, automotive glass repair and replacement needs. Right on Lakeland Drive, right there in front of Red Arrow Car Wash. It's Lakeland Glass and Tint. Every windshield replacement comes with a free, one-time, anytime Rock Peck chip repair card. I got it right today. I stumbled all over that trying to say it the other day. And, of course, you can get the industry leader in window tint, ceramic coating, ceramic window tint, paint protection film, getting your vehicle wrapped, whether you just want to change the colors, go to one of those cool matte finish colors or whatever else, or turn it into a rolling billboard. Shaun, the FJ Cruiser will look great with a Yurtkuran law firm wrap around it.
Actually, I like that idea.
It's time to change up the baby blue a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I already had, who's doing that, you said?
Lakeland Glass and Tint.
Oh, they already did the wrap on my car, too.
Yeah, they did your hood.
The hood, yeah, did a great job. They always do a good job.
Yep, and that's something, yours had some oxidation, right?
Yeah.
And they put that wrap on it to kind of cover it, make it look great, and it does. You get that a lot in Mississippi, so you'll get an oxidized vehicle, and it's all messed up. Wrap is a great way to hide that without having to go get it clear coat, painted, and all that involved.
Yeah, I was in Utah, drove it out there. I like going hanging out in Utah and camping and stuff, and got caught in a sandstorm, and it got in the paint.
Yeah. And
then once I got back to Mississippi, like you're saying, it just ate. You ate it to pieces. It took a couple years, but just ate it up. So
well, they can prevent that stuff from happening too with the paint protection film by Expel. Get over there, see them today. You start online for a free quote at LakelandGlassandTint.com, and don't forget they're coming soon to downtown Brandon. Lakeland Glass and Tint 042, opening soon. Trust me, I'll tell you when we get more details because I'm sure they'll have a little grand opening celebration. All right, Shaun, let's jump back into this. Nancy Pelosi. And Shaun's going to expand, too, on why he won't vote for Kamala either. So I don't even know if we should take credit for Shaun converting, or if it's just they've done such a bad job that
this last week should take credit. This is what it should be.
We'll expand after this clip here.
Sure.
So Nancy Pelosi, now she was probably drunk at 9 a.m. when she said this. If I was 80 and a billionaire, I'd be drunk at 9 a.m. too, drunk on power. And but Nancy Pelosi got on MSNBC and made a really interesting statement. Now, we all know Joe Biden has come out and defiantly said he is running. Shaun sent me screenshots of the fundraising emails, and I mean, I get a ton of them from Trump. I get it, but the Biden camp has made it clear that Biden is running. Pelosi either hadn't got the memo or she knows something we don't.
Does he have your support to be the head of the Democratic ticket?
As long as the president it's up to the president to decide if he is going to run. We're all encouraging him to make that decision because time is running short.
Does he have your support?
Let's just listen to that one more time. It's only 15 seconds.
To be the head of.
What I want y'all to hear is her say he has to make his decision when it's clear his decision's already been made. So just listen to this one more time.
Democratic ticket.
As long as the president it's up to the president to decide if he is going to run. We're all encouraging him to make that decision because time is running short.
They're encouraging him to make that decision to step down, is what she was trying to say. But she is drunk. Shaun?
Yep.
What you think?
Well, I think it's obvious what's going on. It's all of the members of Congress on the Democratic side want him gone. Now, only a few have the balls to say it publicly, and the rest are scared about retribution from the president. That's why they're not saying it. Now, Nancy Pelosi is obviously in that circle that's telling him, you need to step down. And that's why she's saying this after he did that defiant speech on Morning Joe on Monday, and all who, by the way, are holding water for him as well, which is just another issue with me about how they flipped on that. Yeah, back to the whole Kamala thing. What's bothering me about that is, and this has nothing to do with her capable. There's been a lot of talk where she's not capable. I don't know whether she's or not. I'm an opinion of that one way or the other. What I can say is now you want to force her down our throats. Like, that's not cool either. What we need to have was a primary that we were supposed to have with the aging president. That in 2020, everybody said this is just a bridge to the next generation, which of course didn't happen. So I don't feel like you get to say, well, you have to take Kamala, and let me tell you why Kamala is so great. And that's what they're doing on the cable news stations and then, certain op-eds and everything. That's not fair. There's a lot of good candidates that I've looked at for a while that I think would be good candidates that I think need a shot. James Carville said this in the New York Times a couple days ago. He's against this Kamala idea too, just giving her the throne. He said that, what you need to do is have Barack Obama, Bill Clinton host town halls around the country, like 4 of them, and take the certain number of candidates and let them talk to the American people, and let's see who would be the next nominee. To me, that sounds like a great idea.
Do you include Robert Kennedy in that?
I would include him. I don't see why not. I think he's gotten some. He's campaigned enough and he's got enough votes. I would do it. I think you pick him. Like Andrew Bashir, maybe Whitmer, Newsom, if he wants to, unfortunately, and Kamala, I think gets a shot too, obviously. And I think that's fair. I think that's what you do at this point, because what you did instead was, for the last year, was just cut everybody out and just say Joe's getting it, and we're also not going to tell you his condition. So I think that's the fairest way to do it. So no, I wouldn't vote for Kamala because I think they're trying to force it, just like they forced Joe. And I do want to backtrack on one thing. If Joe had just said, I quit after that debate and realized it, I'd be fine with them picking someone else. And I wouldn't be like, I'm going to go vote for Donald Trump. What's pushing me to him is what he's done since then is it's the after. It's not the debate. It's the after stuff is where my anger comes from. That's what's making me really angry.
We got about a minute for the break here. I tell you, we had this conversation in depth yesterday on privately. I thought after that Axios article that came out, was it Tuesday or Monday or whatever day it was, Tuesday or Wednesday? I thought Tuesday, where they had that private meeting with people who are worried, the down ballot people who are really worried about
sure,
in the contested districts.
Yeah.
And they said they were in there crying, and not over Joe Biden,
right? About themselves, and they came out of it and said, "Hey, look, it's clear that our rebellion is over. Yeah,
that everybody's getting behind Joe." And within 24 hours, Clooney comes out, Pelosi comes out, the mainstream media doubles down.
Yeah,
It it is the rebellion.
Parkinson stuff started. The Parkinson stuff.
The rebellion is just beginning, apparently.
Yeah, I don't think it's over. I don't think it's going to be over, and it shouldn't be over.
No,
I mean, and if they want it to be over, the House members, they need to come out and say it publicly, because that's their duty. Is they're supposed to serve the public. And I think when they're not serving the public when you're not discussing the president's mental incapacities. So I think they need to do that just to have any credibility with anybody at this point. This has been the worst possible way to handle that debate, post-debate stuff that could have ever happened in my mind.
We got to take a break on this. For the takedown of Biden immediately after to be so orchestrated, it was complete chaos.
Yeah,
and apparently they forgot to tell Biden that if we hit the red button, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, and also Biden apparently doesn't care about taking the country down and the party down and everybody. He doesn't care. That's just
as long as he gave it his best shot.
Long as he gave his best shot. Oh, and and he consults. What did he say? I'm consulting Hunter.
Yeah, we got to go.
Okay.
Breitbart came out with an article late yesterday that said Hunter is the acting chief of staff right now.
I actually believe that.
I do too.